work, the plumbing and the electrical work of that building has been planned ahead. And you must follow that. You must follow that plan. You must follow that plan. If you don't follow that plan and you build for yourself. Bible says, in vain are we building if God is not the one building. If He is not the one building, then what we are building is in vain. He will have nothing to do with it. He will not dwell in it. He will not. He will not be there. Wherever God is, church needs rebuke. The church needs correction. The church needs guidance. A shepherd must be in charge of sheep. Why? Because there are wolves. There are animals that eat the sheep. That is why there is a shepherd. David may be small, but he was a shepherd. And so when the bears came and the lions came and took away his sheep, he said, I went after them. Because I know that I am not a shepherd of my own. I was called by God and anointed to shepherd the flock. He says he went after the lion. He went after the bear. Why? He has the powers covering and protect. The angels are there to defend him. The angels are there to minister God's protection over his life, to minister grace. He said, I went after them. I caught them. I hit them on the jaw. I killed them. And I took away the sheep from their mouth. If you are a sheep and you have no shepherd, it is one of the most dangerous places to be. How can you be a sheep and not have a shepherd? There are some people who call themselves shepherds who are not shepherds. Do you know, if they see the lion coming, they will run away. If they see the bear, they will run away. A shepherd is the one who knows the power behind him. And he will not run away and leave his sheep. He will rather fight to defend his sheep. A shepherd is not a hireling. There are some people who are hired. There are some people who are there because of money. There are some people who are there because of fame. There are some people who are there for several reasons. If Jesus says, I will build my church, he will build it through the angel of the church. He will build it through, because this particular passage is for Peter. Peter was being addressed after he confessed who Jesus was. Then Jesus was telling Peter, this confession you have made does not come from flesh and blood. It didn't come from you. It was revealed to you from above. You need revelation about what the true church of God is. So from now on was Peter. By the confession you have made that I, Jesus, I am the Lord, I am the Savior, I am God. By that confession, I now will build my church. Through your confession, now that I know where your heart is, now that I know that your spirit can see what ordinary people will not see, can see into the realms of the spirit and see my position in your life, I will build my church, my own church. And the gates of hell and Hades shall not prevail against. And I will give you the keys of the kingdom. When Jesus was going to leave, Peter had fled because of the persecution, fear. Jesus called Peter. He said, do you love me? He says, yes, I love you. Jesus says, if you love me, there is something you do. You will feed my flock. A shepherd is no shepherd if you are not there to feed the flock. If you are not there to defend the flock. If you are not there to protect the flock. You are not a shepherd. You are not a driver if there are no passengers. You are not a teacher if there are no students for you to teach. The students, they make you. They enable you to be the shepherd. The sheep is what enables you to be a shepherd. A shepherd is not somebody who is running about plucking tomatoes. A shepherd is the leader and the head of a sheep, a group of sheep that has been entrusted into his care. And shepherd, they love the flock. The shepherd loves the flock. Even for one flock, one sheep that is lost, the shepherd cannot sleep. For one sheep that is lost, the shepherd will go every length to go looking for that one sheep. He will leave the 99 safe, protected, hidden somewhere, and go and be looking for that one sheep. And when he goes and he sees that it's a lion or a bear that has come for his sheep, he will fight the bear and fight the lion, and kill them and take his sheep back. Shepherds love their sheep. For God so loved his sheep. That is why he sent Jesus, his only begotten son, to come and die. Shepherds die for their flock. A shepherd who sees the wolf coming and runs away is not a shepherd, he's a hireling. He has been hired. He's paid. You should have these as some of the flags that you must see to know whether you are safe under a shepherd, whether that shepherd is the angel that God has assigned unto his church. Because if you don't, you are not safe. You are like a chicken that has no covering of a hen over you. You are like a sheep. When you are grazing, you are eating. You don't have your shepherd watching and see that you are safe. There are some people who can never give you a covering. You must know. Because even the flock, they don't love the flock. They don't care about the flock. They are not ready to die for the flock. They are there for several reasons. They are there for several reasons. It is your duty to find yourself covered. It's very essential. Very essential. A shepherd does not mind giving his last meal to the flock to eat. A shepherd, when the flock is sleeping, he goes around looking for greener pastures. Where can I go and take them next time to go and graze? The field must be green, nourishing. He takes them, goes to look for water. Where the water is still, it's not running too fast, because when the sheep goes to be drinking, the flood waters can take them away. He goes to survey and look for a place where there is quiet water, or where there are still waters. He takes them there to eat. And a shepherd leads, he leads the flock. He doesn't stand behind and he tells him, go, go, go. He goes ahead and surveys the place and see there are no snakes, there are no wild animals lurking. He goes to the water, he goes to check that there are no crocodiles, and so on and so on. Then he comes and then he beckons the sheep to follow him, and he is ahead of them because he knows that the place is safe. The safety of the sheep is his priority. The safety of the sheep is his priority. That is a shepherd. A hireling is afraid for his life. A hireling will not risk. A hireling will not work. A hireling will not pray for the protection of the sheep. A hireling does not love the sheep. They don't love the sheep. They don't care if the sheep is discouraged. They don't care if the sheep is sick. They don't care. They don't care about the welfare of the sheep. If you are a shepherd over the sheep of God, He anointed you, He called you, He prepared you, He anointed you for this business. If you will not do that, you are not a shepherd. You are a hireling. You are hired. Every one of you should ask that God will open your eyes to see. Under which shepherd are you safe? One day God called me. Because I had left the pulpit for so long in the hands of people, and I myself, I was not doing what I want to do. He called me. Will you do what I asked you to do? Or I should look for someone else? I jump up. I startle from my slumber. Because it's like you get to a point where you are tired. When you have done all that you know you should do, and things are still not going the way you want, you can get to a point where you are not discouraged, but you are tired. And so you back off a little bit. So, let things be going. And then he comes to me one day in my office. And the thing came into my mind, boom! And it was like somebody talking to me in my mind. Will you do what I have assigned to you, what I have called you to do? Will you shepherd my flock? Or I should look for someone else? And I startled. Then I realized it was the Lord. No, I cannot give up what He has called me to do. The ministry is your life. Your life depends on you doing for God over His sheep what He has called you to do. And in that case, you cannot get tired, because Jesus did not get tired. He knew His mission. Why He's here? He's here on earth. He knows to die to get the flock for God. He knows it. He said, when a voice came in the heavens and said, who shall we send and who will go for us? They had spelled out all that they will see, that will happen to them. And everybody, heaven was quiet, nobody was willing to go. And the voice said, send me, and I will go. I believe that voice is the voice of Jesus. And if we are here for Jesus, He's building His church, then we must build like the way He is building. He laid down His life for the sheep and will protect the sheep. He will feed the sheep. We must guard jealously, even at the peril of our lives. We must protect the flock. This is the work. The work is not the building blocks and the programs and the activities and how beautiful inside the chapel is. That is not it. That is not the work. The work is not eloquent preaching. That is not the work. It's not eloquence. The work It's not some nice dressings. The work of God is about the flock, the sheep. And if you are not ready to give your life for the sheep, do not respond and say, Lord, send me. And I, in this church, I guard jealously my calling, because you are the sheep of his pasture. You are the ones God has given to me, and I will guard jealously, and I will warn you. Be careful, because there are wild beasts around. They are lurking around. They want some sheep to eat. Bible says your adversary, the devil, is going about like an angry lion, seeking whom he might devour. If you give yourself, he will devour. He says, I've set you up as a watchman over my people. Watchman. If you see the arrow is coming and you keep quiet, the arrow has been shot. It will come anyway. And whomever the arrow hits, he says, I will hold you responsible for their blood. Therefore, as a shepherd, you need to cry loud and warn the sheep. It's biblical. You need to tell the sheep, oh, this place is unsafe. These grounds are slippery. It's a dangerous place. Don't go. Don't get there. You will be destroyed. You have to warn. And if any of the sheep in disobedience does that, if anything happens, their blood will not be required from your hands. It shall not be required. In the army, you go through as a recruit, gradually, and become an officer. From the officer rank, you are rising with your good work. Pastor Martha understands. They went through those stages to become what she is. She's not the highest. As long as she's still young and in the service and working very hard, it is possible she will get there one day. Amen. So it is in ministry. In the work of God, we rise gradually. We start small, and we are growing. And then you will get to a point where God will put sheep under you. You are now responsible for the sheep. This is the work. And he makes you a watchman over the sheep. You must be alert. You must be smart. You must caution. You must warn. There are some of the sheep that will be disobedient. God has given the shepherd the rod and the staff. It is not to kill them, it's to comfort them. The rod can be used for several things. You can use that rod to spank the sheep. Because sheep are gullible. Sheep are naive and innocent. They can see. Sometimes the enemy can come and sow seed or tares. Have you heard that story before? Yeah. When the sowers went to sleep, then the enemy came to sow tares. You will be fortunate if the tares the enemy sow are not poison. Because some of them can be poisonous. And the sheep cannot know the difference. That is why you, the shepherd, you have been trained so that you will know the difference between the wheat and the tares. And then you can warn the sheep. Say, don't go here and eat. Don't go and eat here. Because if you eat there, you will eat poison. You will die. Sometimes the shepherd will go to the river and he will look at the water. He's experienced, he has been trained. No, this water, The way I see fishes dying and floating on the water, there is a poison in the water. The water has been poisoned from somewhere. That day he will look for an alternative water for the sheep to drink. It's not every water that is water to be drunk. It's not every water. Some may look like water, but they are poison in disguise. It is your duty to spank the sheep that